Alrighty, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to an episode in live stream here on Let's Build Twitter. As always, I'm Ethan or Unknown Coder. Last time around we went ahead and got our reposts kind of working, or not reposts, our replies working, as well as images and everything. And there are a couple bugs I'm going to go ahead and look at. I have them written down. So the first one is the text area kind of breaks. I'll show you guys what it looks like. And also the remove image icon is still there even though it shouldn't be whenever it's actually attached to the post. Then after that, we need to also get our repost working. That way it says like reposted by XYZ. I'm pretty sure it says the user's name, or it might actually say display name. I'm not sure. We'll have to take a look at that. Unfortunately, I don't really have many retweets on Twitter, so I'll have to go back and look, maybe find some. And then finally, I think what I want to do to wrap up is try to get it so that we have a whole bunch of tweets from people we follow. So I'm probably going to go ahead and refactor the SQL thing that we have, the SQL script that actually brings in that information. That way we can basically have 100 or 200 or 300 posts specifically from people that we follow. So Rick, Morty, those, whatever they're called, those IDs. And then I guess we'll make our person last. That way it doesn't have our ID on it. But we'll go back on the mockeroo and do that. So without further ado, as always, if you guys do want access to the private repository, there's a link in the description down below that gets access to that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the bugs. So the first bug has to do with this. So whenever we type on this, like, so let's see if we can reproduce the bug with the text area. If and we do this, you see that it gets off. So there's some, like, I think something to do with break. So let's actually hop into our front end. I figured out how to fix this one. It's a pretty simple fix. So let's go into our front end code. So this is going to be here. So I think all we have to do is actually just remove that break all and save and come back in here. And now it is working. Everything is back the way it should be. So that one was an easy fix. Now the other thing that's broken is, say, let's make a post with an image, and then go ahead and do this. Let's just grab this thumbnail. Sure. So right now we're able to delete that image. So if we bring the image back, apparently there's a bug with this. Interesting. We might need to look into that. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but let's go ahead and grab this image. We can post it. That's fine. Making a post with an image, and we can go ahead and post it. If we refresh, you see how this button is here. So we only want that button if it's actually in the creator. So we need to figure out how we're going to deal with that. So maybe let's hop into our front end code and try to get this working. So we come into our front end code. So it's going to be on the post object itself. And if we scroll down here, we're going to have a feed post image container. And if we scroll up to post image container, we are passing it create post image container. So what we could probably do is, if it's in here, let's go into the create post container. So this is inside feed utils, create, do this. Let's see, create our post image container, and it creates a feed post creator image. Inside of our feed post creator image, let's actually take a look at what this looks like. So feed post creator, this image is, I don't know why Git didn't update this, but okay. And I'm guessing maybe what we want to do, yes, we have a close icon here with an on click. So I'm thinking maybe we wrap this and pass in a prop to see whether or not to display the close. So maybe we say display close icon, which is a Boolean. And then we can go ahead and pass it in here as well. So display close icon, and what we can do is just say, hey, if we want to display the close icon, so I guess we'll just wrap this in this, I suppose. I don't think this is going to hurt anything. And then we'll say display close icon. And so now there's going to be two issues. So it's going to be inside the feed post, and I guess in here as well. So here, this is inside of the feed post creator images. So this one, we want this to be true. So display close icon is equal to true. And then this one, so inside of the one for our image container, this one, we want all these to be true. So display close icon equal to true. And then here, display close icon equal to true. And then finally here, display close icon equal to true. Just like that. And then inside of our post image container, we want all these to be false. So display close icon equal to false. This was less work than I thought it'd be, so that's nice. Display close icon whoops, equal to false. And I think there's one more. Display close icon, whoops, equal to false. Any other issues? Let's see. Nope, that's everything. So we hop back into our front end. Now you can see there's no X, but if we go ahead and say making another post with an image, or actually let's make a post making a post with a GIF. And let's just go ahead and add a GIF. Okay, it's just slow, I guess. So let's do a shrug, I guess. And I don't know why it's being so slow. I think my computer might just be being slow or something. But post it, refresh. I didn't even look at the top right to make sure there is a thing, but that's good. Cool. So that is good to go. So those were the two things that were big issues. Now let's go into our post, I believe. So this is our feed post and everything like that. So now what I want to do is I want to check to see if it's a repost. If that's the case, then I want to display the thing above the post left. I might have to do something. I might have to do something really jank like this. So I might have to copy this and put this like here. I don't love this. I might have to do something like this. P tag class name equal to post dash repost info maybe, and do this. And the thing that sucks is this is basically only going to be shown if it's a repost. So if we do something like this and say like feed post dot repost. So if it's a repost, we do this, and then we're going to go ahead and we need the icon. So I think this should be an SVG, and I'm guessing that it's called like repost icon, repost outline SVG, because we have it below. So let's copy it. And what we'll do, yeah, this is just a tag, right? So we can do this. So let's do this and let's clean this up a little bit. And then here we'll have the repost outline SVG. So this needs like height. Let's just do like 15px. Whoops, 15px, which is a string. We need width, which is 15px. Then we need color, which is the like light gray color or dark gray color. Maybe I don't have height and width on it. String is not assignable number. Okay, so we just do 15 then. Fair enough. 15, and then color, we'll go to our app.tsx and grab, I'm guessing this is just gray, honestly. If it's not the right color, we can change it, but color would be that. And then here we will have the username. So we'll say feed post.repost user. And I think this, it's not username, it's nickname. And then we'll say reposted. So that's what that says. Now the thing is, we don't have any reposts right now. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to go into the database and I'll actually have to make a repost. Otherwise, we're never going to see this and see if it works. So this is kind of an annoying way to do this, but I'm going to go into here. That way, whenever we do refresh, it's fine, and go into our data.sql. I'm going to insert into probably just into our table for whatever it's called. So let's see. So insert into, and I think it's called like post repost junction. So I'm going to grab a values. I'm going to grab a random post from someone that we don't follow. So let's see, author 91. So we'll say post 14, and then we'll do like 4, I believe is summer. Well, I spelled repost wrong, so it's going to complain that res post doesn't exist. And let's also set this back to create drop inside of our application properties. If we didn't, we did. Okay, so let's go again. I spelled repost junction now, but now we'll post into repost junctions 4 and 14 and 4. So that means that Summer reposted this. Okay, it started. So now if we refresh our application, the post with images should be gone, but there should be a post that gets reposted by Summer. So it did. Okay, so we're going to have to do what I didn't want to do. We're going to completely refactor the post. We're going to keep this. We're going to copy this, and we're going to put post here. Now the issue with this is that post has a flex direction on it, or a flex on it, and this means that this isn't going to do what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to create like a div with a class name equal to post dash body wrapper or something. We're going to have to wrap this body in this. So let's go ahead and bring this down. Now the issue is getting it to the right spot. Apparently we need to bring this one in. Our spacing is so scuffed. I'll just do this. I'm not worried about fixing it right now. So our body wrapper, we're going to take the flex and stuff off of the post itself, and that'll fix up a lot of stuff. So let's go to here, post body wrapper, and go to our post.css, wherever this might be, all the way over here. So now post, we're going to go ahead and we'll take width 100% and height fit content again, but we'll take all of this stuff off. So go to that, and then we'll also say padding 0. I really need a new keyboard, and margin 0. So now it should stack properly, I hope. Yep, it did. Now, obviously this is scuffed, so we need to fix this up, and this might be a little small. We might go 20 by 20. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and go into here. Yeah, so let's go 20 by 20. And let's also, I'm going to check Twitter to see about how high this looks. So 20 might be a little bit big because the font size on this guy is actually going to be about 13 pixels. Let's go into our post.css. I'm just going to put this above the post left because that's kind of where it goes. So width will be 100%, I guess. Height will be fit content. And we will say this needs to have display flex on it. And we'll justify content flex start, and we'll align items in the center. Font weight or font size will be 13 pixels. Color is going to be that gray, so let's go ahead and grab the gray from here. And then font weight looks like it's pretty thick, so we'll go 600 or something. So font weight 600. I'm trying to think of anything else we need. This does need a post repost info hover, and this will be cursor pointer, and this will be text decoration underline, except the underline is only on the text itself, so that's fun. So I guess what we'll do, we will wrap this guy in a span. Last name equal to post repost user, and then this whole thing, yep, this whole thing is a span, and I didn't close this. I'm trying to think. So this might be a link. Let me click on it. It is a link. So how do we want to do this? So I guess I shouldn't have put the font size and everything on that. Let's try to put the font size and stuff on this and see if it fixes it. And text decoration will be none. So let's just do this. Repost user. I think we need to do this. Paste this. 13, that's fine. We need to change the color. Oops, in here on this guy. So wherever our repost, so change the color to this. It didn't copy. That's cool. Copy, paste, and change this back to like 15 by 15. Let's try 18 by 18, and we can tweak it a little bit more as we go. And I'm gonna have an on click on the span. On click equal to. I don't know why my display port keeps disconnecting, but we need to bring in like use navigate, I think. So const navigate is equal to use navigate, and this should come from like React Router DOM. And then what we can do, I'm just gonna kind of cheat a little bit. I don't feel like making a whole function for this, so we're gonna go ahead and say this. I'm gonna navigate to, I don't know if we need a slash or not, but I'm gonna try the slash. Feed post.repost user.username. We actually need their full on username. So let's see what this looks like. We need to add some padding to that guy, but that's fine. Yeah, so that looks pretty good, and it seems like it's somewhat centered and everything. I think this guy might still be a little bit small, and this text looks pretty small, but I think the monitor sizes difference is kind of messing with me. So we need some spacing in between those. So I think our repost info will have a row gap, or a column gap would be probably better. So here we'll have column gap of, let's try 12 pixels. It's pretty big. We need a padding on the left of, let's try 18 or 16 pixels. We're kind of see how it looks. And honestly, I don't know how the margin is gone. Oh, it's not gone. I'm just dumb. We also need padding and margin 0 on this. Padding 0, margin 0. It looks terrible. I thought I had set margin 0 way back whenever I started this project, but I guess it didn't get set properly. I guess I can add it on this as well, but it shouldn't need to go on this. It should just need to go on this guy. So post left, we just have padding 16. Let's go 0px 0 16 and see what this does. Cool. So we still need to move it over a little bit, and I think I want a padding left and right on this as well, or padding top and bottom. So this kind of annoys me on Twitter. It doesn't actually center inside of the picture. That's kind of silly, but I'm going to try 24. I'm going to do some padding on the top and bottom as well. So let's say like on the top and bottom, we do like 4 pixels. And I'm going to try to bring this up to 24 pixels. Oh, it's because I did padding left. I might bump this up to like 6 and this up to like 26. Okay, I think we're going to live with that. This does seem pretty small, but I think it's literally just the size of the font. And if we click on this, it goes to her account, which is what we want. Now on hover, it does have like a little pop-up modal. So I do want to go ahead and add like a to-do on here. So like on, there's no hover, on mouse over. I'm going to do this. I'm going to add a comment that says pop up a modal with the user's information on mouse over. Now the thing is, and then we're going to do some magic to get it to stay popped up, which I'm not looking forward to. But I think we got all of the stuff on the front end done. Now I guess we go to mockeroo and start messing with some data, because the reason why I want to do this is because I want to get the whatever it's called at the bottom of the feed page. So it's called like an observer or something. I want to get the observer created. That way, whenever we scroll all the way to the bottom of all of our posts, we can make another post to get the next like 100 or 50 or however many we want to get. I think we have it set to 100, because right now, if we don't have over 100 posts, it's going to sit there and call repeatedly and basically spam our server. So that being said, let's hop into IntelliJ. And this was more or less kind of just a test to make sure that following worked and all of that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and delete, sadly, all of this. I'm going to delete these guys, and I'm actually going to create my account last. That way I know it's going to be like number 5, I think, and that's going to help so that I don't create any posts that I don't want. So let's see here, 1 2 3 4, yep, 5. And then we could also follow some people. So I could insert into user following junction. So this is just insert into following values. So I'm just going to follow each one of these guys. So I'm going to go ahead and follow 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, and then 4, 5, and then insert into followers, I guess. I don't know that I really need to set this up, but we'll do the opposite, 5, 1. Hopefully this does what I want. If it doesn't, then I'll just swap these. I guess it won't be that bad of an issue. 5, 2, and this is broken. Fix that. Okay. And 5, 3, and 5, 4. So the hope here is that we have, I'm following Rick, Morty, Summer. Actually, I don't want to follow Bird Person. Sorry, Bird Person. because I want to be able to repost some post from Bird Person by like Rick, Morty, or Summer to make sure that's still working and everything. So now let's go back to mockeroo. Last time we played with mockeroo, it took a little bit of a time here. So let's just hop into mockeroo real quick. So we get rid of this. So we need posts, I believe. So let me pull up dbeaver on the side to see what our posts end up having. So we need a post ID. So post underscore ID. And then this can just be a number, a row number, I think is probably fine. We have audience. And here, number, and I think 0, 0. Let's set that to 0 every time. We have content. Whoops. Content. And this will just be like a sentence or something. So there's sentences, character sequence, sentences. We'll do that. And we'll do no more than 2 because otherwise it might go over. We need a posted date. Posted underscore date. This is a date, and yeah, we want the time, so date time. Is there a timestamp actually? Nope. So date time, and we'll do in between. Let's see, let's do like the last year. So we'll go, ooh, I went too far. Yeah, okay, that was fine. 6 to 6, that's fine. And we're gonna put it into SQL date time, and then we need is reply. This one will all just be null. Is underscore reply. And can I just put null? Is that an option? No. Okay, what do we want to put here? So we basically want it to be blank. Okay, there, cool. Another field, so reply restriction. So reply restriction. Again, that's gonna be blank. Actually, no, this is gonna be a number. And it's gonna be 0. So min 0, max 0. And then we have reply to. By underscore 2. This one is also going to be blank. Cool. And then scheduled is a boolean. Scheduled. And I wonder if I can do I'm going to look at a sequence. So generates the sequence of numbers. There's boolean, and I don't remember how we set this up before. I know that we used like an equation, and we basically said like, if this is equal to true, then we said like false or something. And I think we had to do like and afterwards or something. I don't remember exactly how we did this, but it was something similar to this, where we checked to see if this was equal to true. Otherwise, we returned like false. We'll see what happens here. Let's see if it all turns to false, or if it doesn't work, whatever. And then scheduled date will just be blank because none of them are going to be scheduled. We need author ID. So this one is the one that we want between like 1 and 4, 1 and 5. So this will be a number. And we want 0 decimals. We want the min to be 1, max to be 5 or 4. And then last one is poll ID. Poll underscore ID. This one, once again, will be blank. So let's go ahead and generate or preview data, make sure it works. So scheduled is false on, it looks like all of them. There's a bunch of empty stuff, looks nice. And then audience is 0. And then if you roll over, a bunch of different random ones. So yeah, so I feel like 1,000 might be overkill, but I mean, that would really give us a lot of stuff to work with. We want SQL. The table name will be posts. Do we want 1,000 is the question. Sure, we'll do 1,000. I'll go ahead and save this into, let me move this over so I don't leak anything. It's gonna be interesting to see if it works the way that I think it might. So let me go into my footer backend, source, main, resources. Like I wonder if it'll just call post.sql after the fact. So I'm curious. So if I go ahead and hop into IntelliJ, now we have our post.sql. This is an absolutely massive file, like 1,000 different posts. And hopefully I spelled everything right, because otherwise we're gonna be having a fun time clearing all this stuff out. I guess we can just delete the file, right? So if we refresh refresh. I wonder if we're going to get these posts in here. So let's refresh the application. And let's see if it runs both of these. Okay, it got mad. So user role junction, user ID 1 is not present in table users. Oh, you know what? Okay, we did this in the wrong order. So we need to do the insert into, I guess we can undo deleting that, but I don't think we can. So that was smart, Ethan. So I guess we'll say 1 1 1 2 1 3. I don't think I even did any of these on this, but it is what it is. It's fine. 1 5. Let's make sure it runs now. And I did this in the wrong order, so this should be 2 1 3 1 4 1 5 1. We'll get it right one of these days. Okay, started. Now let's go ahead and generate this data again. So let's go ahead and generate data. We can save it in there. This time I'll just move it to my desktop instead of deleting it. So does this actually generate the post? Let's see. Started. Let me go ahead and refresh my dbeaver and I can bring it over actually. And I'm going to close out of a lot of the stuff. So let's go into our posts. We have 1,000. No. Okay, so it has to go into here. That's kind of yucky, but it is what it is. So let's go into our post.sql and let's go ahead and Control A, Control C, Control V. And then I need to go ahead and repost some random ones. See, this is the issue that I was thinking about. We don't really have any good reference of when a post was actually reposted, right? So like there could be a post like on my screen right now. I'm looking at it. There's a post from October 25th, 2023 was at the top of the list because it was most recently reposted, right? So like I almost feel like there needs to be like we need like a repost table itself, a repost entity that has the post, the user that reposted it, as well as the date it was reposted, and then that'll work out a lot better, I feel like. Now I guess it doesn't really matter. We know that the repost works, so I'm not going to worry about actually making a repost right now. Now the fun part is going to be if any of these have too many characters, and I'm going to go through and fix all the ones with too many characters, which I'm not looking forward to. But let's see what happens here. Yeah, okay, that's what I was worried about. Yeah, too long. Okay, let's go ahead and do all this. In the video, you guys won't see all these, but I'm going to go through and start finding these and deleting the ones that are too long. Okay, there's only like 4. Great. So that means now inside of our dbeaver, if we go ahead and refresh our posts, now we can see we got a bunch of them. It's like there's like, I think probably like 995 or something like that. We go on to our front end. We actually refresh. It's going to be a bunch or none. So I might have these backwards. So I think maybe these are backwards. So maybe it should be 5 1. This one should be 5 2. This one should be 5 3. And this should be opposite. This should be 1 5. 2 5. And 2 3. Or 2 5. Or 3 5. Oh my goodness. So I think those are backwards, and that's why we're not seeing those. So if we refresh now, is it gonna work? Why are we not getting our feed? Console 500. Okay, what happened to our server? Syntax at or near from. Let's change application.properties to create. No, it's still got a 500. So that it's still saying that SQL error 0. Here's my other thing, right? So like I'd originally thought that this wasn't going to work because this need to have a list of post instead. Whoops. Well, we change this to a list. Now it's going to break a bunch of stuff. It's weird to me that whenever we add more data, all of a sudden it just decides that it doesn't want to work anymore. What I'm kind of thinking too is I'm thinking maybe instead of using this page, I'm thinking that maybe we make our own like version of a page using a slice. We have to say .stream, .map. Okay, this should still need to be converted to list, right? .collectors. Okay, whatever. So I'm thinking about making like a slice method or something that you get all of the data from a certain time and then you just slice it, and that might make this a little bit easier as well. And I'm also thinking about making a repost object, but not today. obviously, at another time. So what if we make this a list? I'm just trying to debug at this point because I don't know why it was working before but not working now. Okay, so it was the list thing. So basically what I think we need to do is inside of our post repository, I think this needs a count or something like that. Count query or something like that. So let's see, count query. I think is what we need. And we need to, so I think this has to be, let's see if we can do this. Select count plus feed query. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Do this. Actually, we want to select count star. Then we want to do select count star from, and then we're going to have to like do this plus feed query plus this. Will this work? Who knows? Let's set this back to a page. Fix all the problems. Set this back to a page. Set this back to a page. Or we can just undo all this. Starting to think that maybe we shouldn't have done all that work with this native query and we should have just got all the data back and like figured out how to slice it, which I'm thinking that we might end up doing. And like, heck, we could just pass the whole data back to the front end and make it into slices that way, but it'll be way faster than Twitter. I don't want to say it'll be way faster because we might be sending way too many posts at once, but whenever we try to load more posts, it should be faster. Okay, yeah, so we needed that count query, either that or it's just being temperamental. But yeah, so this is just getting the first 100, page 0, 100. So if we come back into our front end, I want to get it so we can make a request to get even more posts, so get like the next 200, and we need to add them into the feed. So that'll also be interesting. So I'm guessing we did this in the feed. We have way too much stuff open. Let's go ahead and close some stuff really quick that we don't necessarily need right now. Okay, so let's go to our feed itself. So basically we should have like a use effect here. We have these, we do that. What we can go ahead and do is we can go ahead and say const fetch next posts equal to this, and what we'll go ahead and do is we will dispatch, it will dispatch load feed page. I don't love that. We could probably figure out a way to do this though. Load feed page. We might have to modify this load feed page. So token will be user state dot token. User ID will be user state dot logged in. User ID. Page will be current page number +1. And we'll just have session start. And this is mad at us because we need to check to see if it's logged in. So I just say if user state dot logged in and user state, fix this, state dot token. So if there's a token and they're logged in, we'll dispatch this. Okay, and then at the end of this, we do want to go ahead and say set current page number to current page number +1. So we will go ahead and update that current page number. That way, whenever we go to get the next page, it's still there. Now we need to basically watch for this to happen. Also, we want to say like if we want to make sure that there's feed post, because there's going to be a point in time where it's visible because there hasn't been feed post yet. So we also want to say like if is there feed state, we want to make sure if feed state.post.length is greater than 1. So I want to make sure that we have posts loaded in to the page before we actually try to fetch a new post. It's got to be inside of somewhere inside of the GIF modal display. maybe. We have to have some sort of, yeah, so we have this entries next, and then dispatches is if entry is intersecting, and we have this hidden div. So I'm gonna go ahead and more or less yoink this, and let's see here. Sure, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab this hidden div here. Let's copy this, and we can call it auto load. That's fine as well. So come in here, and at the very bottom of this page, yeah, I think this will be fine. I don't know why. Feed state dot post dot length equal to 0. We need to make this ref. So let's scroll up and make a ref. Let's grab use ref, and we'll say const ref equal to use ref. And this will be an HTML. This is a div element, and it'll start out as null because that's just how refs work. Is that not what we want? Is it HTML div element? There we go. So now we have our ref, and this should be hidden div like so. Okay, so now we have our hidden div. On use effect, we go ahead and set up an intersection that does some work, I guess. So we need to go ahead and I guess we can modify the thing. So we'll say entries any. Let's go into our feed. So instead of our load next, we'll say entries any, and we're gonna probably put this inside of something else, so it's gonna get a little bit yucky. Then entries.for each, and we'll do here. So for each entry, if entry is intersecting, we need all of these as well. So this is gross, but it is what it is. If it's intersecting and all of these, we'll go ahead and paste that. We'll get rid of this if. We also want to go ahead and set this at the end of it. Now I'm a little bit concerned about this page number, but being called like more than once or something, but maybe it'll be okay. And then we'll come in here, and we need to go ahead and grab this. So if hidden div and all that. Now, unfortunately, this is probably going to get called a couple of times, so it's fine. Does it have to do with this? I almost bet you that's what this was for. I bet I had the same issue before. Wait a second, it was on the bottom. It worked that time. I forgot that I had it on the bottom. Let's get rid of this. If we scroll down, set to 1, set to 2. Okay, so let's do this. We need to update the post slice. Or not the post slice, the feed slice, to actually append those instead of doing it the way that it was. So feed slice and load feed page. So right now it's just returning all of the posts, and in here we are just saying post are equal to this. So I'm actually going to say this. We're going to say ... state post, and then we're going to add the action payload there. Do I have to break this apart too? Shouldn't have to break both apart. Okay, but it is what it is. So now we come back into our feed, and this will be the moment of truth. If we get rid of this and get rid of this, then save. And if we refresh, let's refresh because I think it started at the bottom. Okay, so right now we have 100. We scroll to the bottom. When this gets into view, I mean, it works, but it's reloading the page. It's setting the post to nothing. So maybe we say let post equal to, and we'll say, this might not work though. I think it has a date on it. We'll see what happens. JSON.stringify, JSON.parse, state. I did this wrong. This would be JSON.stringify here. State dot posts, and then we'll say posts dot. I'm gonna call this updated post, just so I have a distinguisher there. Updated post. We can call this one post. Actually, we'll keep this one as post. We'll say let updated post equal to post dot, and then concat. That doesn't work. It's because it doesn't know that's a post array. Post.concat. We're going to concat the action.payload. I've never had to do it this way. It always just seems to work whenever I do the spread operator. Post is not assignable to post array. Oh, it's a feed post. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Let's just see if this makes it a little bit less glitchy. I'm trying to think of what might cause it to reload like that. I don't think any of these watch the feed posts. Oh, it's loading. Okay, it's loading. So let's say feed.post.length is greater than 0. I bet it's because it was loading. It was getting rid of all of these posts on this in the middle, which means I could probably undo what we did inside of the post slice. Yes. Okay. So if it's loading, we probably want a spinner. We'll have to look at where to get a spinner at. I'm not sure. Let's go to the feed slice. I want to try to undo this. Guess I can just do this, right? Save that. Let's test this one last time. Okay. We're scrolling. I think I can make this wider now, which I don't know how difficult that would be, but I think I can make it wider. Now I probably want some sort of spinning bar so that they know that's spinning. So like we could basically like have the bottom component just be a spinning bar all the time that you just see at the very bottom. But yeah, so now we're getting into some older ones. I just realized that's just said Jan 10th. I don't know how to date on it. Maybe it did. Maybe I'm going crazy. Yeah, I think they're all fine. Cool. So that's working. So I think that is where we're going to leave off. In the wise words of Rick Sanchez, pray Saint Lectus. But yeah, I appreciate everyone that stopped by. Definitely appreciate anyone that watched all the way to the end of this video, and everyone that liked, commented, and subscribed as well during the live stream or video. So anyway, guys, this has been Ethan Encoder. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next episode or live stream. Have a great one, everyone.